Hello, everyone, and a very good evening. Thank you for joining the session on 6 keys to positive communication. I am Nivedita Pawar, a counseling psychologist, and today we will be talking about 6 ways to communicate positively. To do so, we will be moving forward to understand that what are the ways by which we do communicate with people, or how is it that we understand how communication plays an important role to us. So many a times when we speak about communication, we had received certain queries in your pre-questionnaire, wherein we got to hear about how do we have a conversation, or how do we communicate to somebody whom we do not know, how do we initiate a conversation where we want to know that uh, whether the conversation is short-lived or somebody where we can have a long or a stable conversation. To look at all these concerns and to identify how positive communication plays a role, we will be looking at the session today in this time. So, first and foremost, when we speak about communication, as human beings, there are many more barriers that we face. Some of the barriers could be about how we connect with somebody. I'm sure all of you might have also felt these barriers while communicating with people in and around you, or also while communicating people with an online platform that we are today in. So, certain ways to create barriers to communication, or the certain ways to deal with these barriers, is the first to identify what are these barriers. Many a times, the barriers that we face across could be for language, could be the way the person is responding to you, could be how this person is interacting in a way wherein we do not know of what to respond and what to understand of this conversation that goes across with people around you. At that point in time, as much as it is difficult or it is complex to understand what the person is saying, it is equally difficult to comprehend what he or she is trying to communicate with us. It's the difficulty that sometimes we are having while expressing what we want to say, or what the opposite person is feeling when they are wanting to share something to us. These and there are many more ways by which we have barriers to communication. I'm sure you and a lot of people who have joined us today who would have understood that these are certain things which are unavoidable. But certainly, if they are unavoidable, there are also ways to ensure of how we can like look at it that this can be dealt with, or what are the ways by which we can keep these barriers aside and move forward in understanding communication. So to do so, we will be starting off with an activity for which I will be sharing some instructions, and you have to keep your eyes closed while doing this activity. As mentioned in the pre-questionnaire or requisite, that we would want you to have a blank sheet of paper with you, and when we do this activity, the only thing the request is to keep your eyes closed. Are you ready? Can we start off with the activity? Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is take the sheet of paper in your hand, hold it in your hand. Now fold this paper in half. Please ensure that you keep your eyes closed while doing this activity. After you have done it, the next step is to tear off the upper right hand of the paper. Now, tear off the upper right hand corner of the sheet or the paper that you have. Next, fold it in half again. Now, tear off the upper left hand corner of the sheet. Upper left hand corner of the sheet. Okay, fold it again. Now, tear off the lower right hand corner of the sheet. Tear off the lower right hand corner of the sheet. Fold it in half again and tear off the upper corner of the sheet. Tear off the upper corner of the sheet. Now you can slowly open your eyes and see what you have created or the paper that you have in your hand. This is something that I could make when I did the instructions when I was sharing with you. Now, can we hold up the sheet for all of us to see how it looks like? It's unlikely that all of us will have the same things, but I'm very sure we all might have had a little laughter when we saw that despite having the same instructions, the pages that we saw were in a different shapes and formats. I want you to take a pause and observe these differences to feel that how many of us have the same kind of instructions, but we do follow them in different manners. Again, it's a kind of communication, so there's nothing right or wrong to it. So whatever sheet of paper you have, that's absolutely all right. Okay, now let's move ahead to see what are the types of communication. When we speak of communication, there are two types. One is verbal and one is non-verbal. When we speak of verbal communication, we have spoken or the words or the choice of language that we speak out. When we speak about a non-verbal communication, it could be something which is written down when there's nobody to tell you, but you can just read it by yourself and the message is given to you. It could be the sign languages. It could be something you write in the air to tell somebody that this is what you want or that is what you need. Or it could be a braille uh, copy, or people who are blessed with vision or who have difficulty in vision, they use this braille copy to read what they would want to express or to get back in return or to receive the message. These are the ways by which we can ensure that there's a verbal communication happening. But when we speak about the non-verbal aspect entirely, we speak about when you speak of the voice, what is the person trying to say? The speed of the voice, the tone of the voice, is the person showing any emotion of laughter, happiness, anger, resentment, laughing, all and every emotion. And in this non-verbal, the non-vocal options of the communications that we see are the facial expressions. Does that resonate with what the person is saying? Like if I say I am happy, but if I have a very blank face, does that go with the expression of being happy? When I say about body language, about if I'm excited, does my body also show that I'm excited? So somebody who sees me will automatically, without even talking to me, get to know that I am super excited. Or the spaces that we have when we talk to somebody, the breathing space, the speed of the tone, the words that we use, the choice of pauses that you take. All of these are a part of a non-verbal communication. So when we have these kind of communications, it's easier for us to receive the message, but it is also to get misinterpreted as what we wanted to share and what the person has received in return. So when we talk about positive communication, it's something that we will look at in depth of these six aspects, where we look at the importance of greeting, how do we encourage, how do we ask questions, and so on and so forth. So the first aspect of positive communication is to greet to create a human connect. Whenever we meet somebody, the first thing that we do is either share a hi, hello, or depending on the situation, we choose to use certain words. Like, may I come in? I'm sorry to interrupt you or to disturb you, but I wanted to speak about something. The way we greet a person shares that we want to start a conversation with them. It is a very simple way or a very simple act of a behavior, but that sets the tone of the conversation. So people who had asked us that how do we start a conversation or how do we talk to new people around? This is the first step, is to begin with greeting the person. It comes across that many a times we are shy or we're not sure of whether greeting somebody would be right in that frame of time or in those regions or aspects. But the very simple fact of, you know, you could smile or the person can, you could just wave a hi and say hello, all of these things shows that you are wanting to start a conversation, and that's the first step to a positive communication. Likewise, when we talk about communication, we are all social animals or we are all social beings. When we talk about social beings, the wheels that keep us going or the oil that is required for the social wheels is the way you greet somebody. It could be a text message, it could be an email, it could be a voice call, it could be a video call. The easier and the smoother way is you add an element of greeting or starting a conversation which tells or makes the person approachable and to have this conversation going ahead. For example, if you see at the email invitation that I've given as an example, wherein it's a meeting invite at the student group meeting which says in two different ways. One, the student group meeting is at 3 p.m. Or the second email would be, hello, I hope you all are doing great. Looking forward to seeing you at the student meeting at 3 p.m. on Friday. Have a great week ahead, XYZ, or the person whoever is greeting it or inviting you. What is the kind of email you would like to see, or what is the kind of email you would be happy to receive and be willing to respond to it? Definitely, where you're talking about the actual event, along with that, you're also giving certain spaces where you're talking to them, asking or in a way wanting to know whether the person is doing well or if the person is in kind of a happy state of life. So that's where you create a human connect by greeting them or to have an importance of greeting to start a conversation. The next point we speak about is to ask. If you do not know how to ask or if you do not know the right type of questions to ask somebody, we will always be in this unknown format. So when you ask somebody, it is to discover this unknown. It is an element of being curious to know what is happening. When you ask a person, you are letting them know that you are open to learn more. You're open to understand that what a person is feeling, and you're also open to know that if the person, what is the need or what is the help the person is requiring. On a basic level, when we talk about asking questions, there are two ways to it. One could be an open-ended question, and the other is an open-ended as a close-ended question. When we talk about close-ended question, you give them options of choosing of either or. Over here, as a given example, would you like to have tea or a coffee? Or would you like to meet in probably in your space or at my space? Would you like to do XYZ things at your timing or my timing? To this question, you get a very specific answer. And the conversation probably could be at a pause from there on, or could be at a halt from there on because you have communicated whatever you wanted to. But on the other hand, when we speak about an open ended question, you ask the person about their life or you're talking about experiences in general. For example, tell me something about your favorite food, or can you share about the travel journey that you did recently, or what was your experience when you were wanting to reach out to help somebody. That's where the communication starts. That's where we try to know that what the person is feeling, how the conversation is taking place, and how you and the person that you're connecting with are resonating with each other. most of us who want to improve our communication skills or find it shy or difficult or low on confidence, this is a way or a tip by which you can do a conversation, or you can have the conversation for a longer period of time, is by asking questions which are close ended to open ended. So rather than asking whether you would like to do this or this, ask them what are your ways of how would you like to do XYZ things. You could always start off with asking that, in case if you like, do you need any help? Can I be of any help? When I speak about wanting to be of any help, or if you want something from my from where I want to help you across, that's the way by which you can share the thoughts, or you can keep the conversation going across. So next time when you communicate with new people or with new set of group of friends around you, ask start with asking these open-ended conversations. So now we move forward to understanding what is it that we speak when we talk about complimenting people. So when we talk about complimenting people, it is affecting the sense of people when you share these good words. Compliments come in various formats, but the only best format is to share it somebody in a very positive manner. It could be a very tiny thing to give to somebody, but it can definitely mean a priceless thing for the one who is receiving it. So when we talk about compliments, there is a quote which I would like to say: what we say and what we do affects people. It affects who they are in the moment, and it also affects who they become. It's given by Julian Mirivel, which we speak about, and we understand that whenever we say something to somebody, like probably today you're looking very nice, or the work that you did, it really helped me, or the handwriting that I see is very nice. All these are very small compliments. But imagine when you receive them, the joy and the happiness you feel at the receiving end. So at this point in time, I want you to take a pause and think of the best compliment that you have received. You could probably close your eyes and relive the moment when you had received this compliment, and how you felt when doing or while doing the task after receiving the compliment. All right. Also, now that you speak about receiving the compliment, I want you to think about what is the kind of compliment, or what is how did you feel when you gave a compliment to somebody? How did that compliment impact the person? I'm sure in a positive way, of how they felt when they received a compliment. Okay, okay. And like when we see about people talk about food, yes, that's one of the things that whenever somebody cooks for us, and the moment we say that the food was amazing, that is the kind of compliment that makes the person who's making an effort feel much more happier about it. Then the second most compliment that we receive many a times is, you helped me in the time of despair that I was going through. Yes, it definitely makes an impact on the person who has helped you across. So whenever giving a compliment, ensure that the person that you are giving a compliment to, you're giving them in the most intentional manner. It is not something that is in a robotic way, or it is not something that you are doing just for the sake of it. Compliments shared or received need to be felt within your heart, and it needs to be something which is making an impact to your life when you are helping somebody else or when you're giving that compliment to the other person, because it definitely affects the person's self worth and a sense of being acknowledged, a sense of self. The next aspect that we see here is the fourth point, which is disclosure to deepen relationships. Whenever having communications in a positive manner, when we speak about relationships, it has multiple layers into it. As we all know that relationships are not always in a happier format, it can have a mixture of good and bad moments. But when we speak about disclosure, it's giving the space or the safe area or the safe comfort for a person to share what their thoughts are, what their fears are, what are the experiences they have had in their life, what are the kind of events that the person might have felt, and the pain that they might have gone through. All of this relationship, when we see, or all of this kind of pain that the person is going through, is very important to be acknowledged. And when this gets acknowledged, is when the person feels that the relationship is deepening. So the aspect of disclosure is not just to let the person feel or to share what they have, but also it makes you feel closer, connect to this person. They make you understand each other better, and definitely it helps you to have a much more effective communication and eventually much more deepening relationship. Also, the best way to have disclosure or to have a self disclosure is to have it in both ways. When we talk about having in both ways is to ensure that you are listening actively when people open up to you, and at the same time when you are responding to them, be respectful and be very conscious of the words that you use and the body language that you share across. The next aspect of positive communication is to give encouragement, to give support. As we human beings, many a times we do need support, all the encouragement and all the empowerment. Due to the pandemic, we cannot keep a hand on somebody's shoulder or pat their back, but with an online commit, like an online communication, we can ensure that you are at least giving them these good words or this positive words of encouragement. This could be across to communicate with them about the social aspects, the social support that they need, or they could be facing difficulty in this pandemic. Somebody might have lost the family member, somebody might have lost their job, somebody might have had some kind of physical ailments. So, all the emotions of grief and loss, pain and despair is where the encouragement is required. And this is the support by which, despite being away from each other, we can be united with an online platform. These small movements of transforming a like a sad event or a sad state to an extraordinary on a better, on a pleasant way, could be by sharing these words of support. These are the kind of strength or the kind of pillars that you give them to sail through these difficult times, or to let them know that they are not alone and no matter what, you are there with them. Also, when we talk about the encouragement, just like we spoke about giving compliments, ensure that the encouragement is given from within. It's not manual or it's not a robotic nature by which you have to tell somebody, okay, be strong, do this and do that. But you need to feel empowered from within. And when you give that empowerment to the person, he or she will feel that energy, they will feel that strength that you are giving them. And then you will see the power of encouragement when you see this person walk from this difficult time towards a better time, and definitely you are there with them at this point in time as well. So as we come to the last point of these six positive ways to have positive communication, is to listen. Listening to a transcendental difference or going beyond the words is what we mean while giving a listening here. So, to have a positive communication, it's very essential to let the person know that whatever they share with you is going to be of utmost importance to you. When I say this, you give them a message that I am listening to you and I'm open to all the perspectives, thoughts, emotions that you feel as an individual. At this point in time, when you give a listening ear, it's also required and essential to withhold your judgments, because it's very natural to immediately respond and say that why are you saying this, or this is not what I was expecting from you, or how can you feel in this manner. It's okay, we are all human beings and we can have these differences of thoughts, opinions, and perspectives. But being able to hold your judgment and being able to giving that safe space while you feel uncomfortable is an art. And that's where we say listening is an art, listening is a skill. And we as an individual need to take time to learn how to listen. When we talk about aspects which are different to your thought perspective or different from your experiences of how you have led a life, to listening to somebody who has exactly opposite point of views, experiences, like their emotions or their vision of certain things, it could clash with your own sense of thought or sense of being. But at that point in time, if you are able to overlook these small barriers and be open to receiving or to being open to being there for that person, that's what we mean when we say having a listening ear or giving a ear to somebody when they are sharing their thoughts. So the ability to give the person that open space, the ability to let them know that whatever they share is going to be safe with you, it's going to be in a confidential manner, and you are not going to share that spoken words to somebody else. That is the comfort the person needs when they will be talking to you. Also, as we understand, listening can be uncomfortable. Over the last few months and weeks that we see, we are hearing people losing their loved ones, closed ones, things which were very close to them, people who meant the world to them but are no more here. It can definitely make a difference to you and it will have an impact on you as well. But if you learn to calm your own storms, or if you can learn to keep yourself calm of whatever is happening inside, and if you are able to put the attention on the person who is sharing with you, or if you are able to put the thoughts in the eyes of the person that they are important and they are safe whenever they share with you, that's where half of the job is done of listening. So as we say that positive communication not just means to be happy all the time, not just means to be in a very cheerful state all of the times. It will be putting you in difficult situations. It is bound to put you in an uncomfortable situation as well. But how you make a part of it and ensure that despite all your uh, you're not feeling very comfortable, you're not very confident, you feel shy, or you do not know how to cross those barriers but are open, or if you are approachable, I can ensure you that the positive communication will happen. So all the points that we have seen so far, we will be concluding them to understand much more better. So when we speak about what we have covered today is, when you become a positive person, you become a positive communicator. When people are more likely to listen to you, the conversation gets better, not just for them, but for you as well. So all those queries where we had people talking about how we feel, or what how to keep the conversation happening, This is the way where you can be a communicator, a positive communicator. The conversations will keep on happening by its own. You do not need to put an extra effort to ensure that the talk is happening or the communication is happening. And you will eventually see that the way of communication that was earlier has been much more changed, and you will see the transformation happening, not today tomorrow, but over the years or over the time as you practice. This is something that you're very sure to see of. Second is, communication needs to be intended in the both way. That is, it needs to be a two-way street. It cannot be that I talk every time and you listen, or you talk every time and I listen. No. It needs to be something wherein there is a exchange of thoughts, there's an exchange of emotion. There could be like positive or pleasant moments, but there also could be times where there could be clashes. And at that point in time, being able to overlook those and still be able to create and maintain a positive communication is what is going to be the key to have good communications in the times ahead also. This will help you to eliminate any kind of misunderstanding that can be created unintentionally. When we talk about misunderstandings, it could be the tone, it could be the choice of words, it could be that I shared to you and thinking that you will not share it with somebody else. But I got to hear it from somebody that whatever I shared with you, that person also knows it. When you're clear in your conversations, when you're clear in the intention to have this communication, you're letting the person know that whatever he or she is sharing with you is safe with you. And that itself removes any kind of misunderstanding because both of y'all are on the same page and you know where this conversation is going to move further to. Lastly, to understand that conversations will get a lot better when the things are approached in a positive way and a very rightful manner from the start. At any point in time, if you've come across conversations which did not start on a right note, but you are wanting to keep these conversations continuing ahead, take that moment from then onwards of putting an effort to making it a positive conversation. Also be mindful that whenever you think of communicating with somebody who means a lot to you or with your friends and family members, ensure that you have a good start, that is you greet the person well, and so forth. The steps that we have discussed will help you have a positive communication. So with that, I am going to be sharing some activity which is a takeaway activity for you, or as a revision of what we did today. I want you to implement in your day to day life and write back to us on our email ID that how it helped you have a conversation in a good or a bad manner, or how did you see the transformation happening when you heard about these 6 keys of positive communication. The first thing that you have to do is to greet somebody, or 3 people to be precise. You have to greet 3 people whom you do not know well. These 3 people can be anybody from the institution, it can be outside the institution, friends or family whom you are acquainted with, or who are very new to you. Try and ask them how they are doing, how has the life been for them. If not meeting in person, you can always have an online conversation. You can ask them if they would want to take a time to connect with you, and how are the things that both of you all would want to greet or to start with that connect and ensure that the conversation keeps happening. The second thing I want you to do is you can think of 3 people that who those people that you value a lot and you would want to give them a meaningful compliment. You might have been hesitant to give it before, or you might know that they have a strength in in the particular thing, but you did not know how to appreciate them. So take this moment and share a compliment which comes from within. Don't do it because I am asking you to do it. Do it because you want to give them a compliment. It could be any three people that you would want to give a compliment, and that compliment needs to be coming from your own very much mind. Lastly, to deepen the relationship, as we spoke about six aspects, but these are the three aspects which will help you to maintain a good and healthy relationship ahead. One of the key points is the disclosure. People whom you feel are very much connected to you, with whom you can resonate a lot. Pick up any three people that you would like to let them know that you are grateful for them being in your life. You could be like, you are able to share whatever thoughts that are coming to your mind, and when you do that, please be honest, be open of whatever words and emotions you're feeling. Tell them what they feel, or tell them how you feel whenever you connect with them, or probably if they have helped you at certain point of time in your life, how it made a difference to you, or what was the impact that they had on you. Pay attention to the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions you feel when you are doing this disclosure. You can write them in a text format, you can call them up, you can write them an email, you can give them a thank you note, whatever your choice. But ensure that you are having this disclosure and you are helping the person, like, you're making them feel acknowledged. At the same time, you're acknowledging your own emotions as well. So with that, I am taking a leave, and I will want you to experience these three tasks, which is a takeaway activity, and feel free to let us know what was the experience, what did you feel like, and how was your the entire journey when you used these six keys to having a positive communication with the people who are close to you, or also for people whom you have probably recently met or would be meeting at coming point in time, how these six key pointers will be helpful to you. The last thing is, I'm sharing a feedback form. I request you to take 2 minutes of your time and share your thoughts with us, because that means a lot to us. And these feedback is what helps us to create our sessions in the upcoming time. Let us know what is it that we could improve on, or what are the topics that you would like us to have sessions upon, or have these kind of conversations ahead. With that, I thank you for your precious time and participation for this session, and I wish you a very healthy and a happy stay ahead. Ensure to be home, take care, and stay safe. Thank you.